Hit that thing.
There we go.
Whoa, holy.
Okay, with authority.
Oh, New Year.
I am so sorry.
Gonna announce my presence with authority.
Wait, did somebody hear something?
No,
I can't hear anything now.
That's the new 2025 gavel.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
now we know.
All right. This January 13th meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Burleson Independent School District is now called to order at 5:30 p.m. This meeting was duly posted according to legal requirements and a quorum was present. We welcome employees and guests to the meeting. The board encourages public comments during the public comment section of the meeting. Anyone wishing to speak must fill out a card prior to the meeting. Comments are limited to 5 minutes per person, and the public comment section will be limited to no more than 30 minutes. The board may not discuss any issues that are not posted on our agenda. The board may defer agenda discussions until the appropriate time during the meeting. The board asks that citizens not present complaints or concerns regarding the individual employees or students at this time, as the district has a complaint policy that must be followed before the concern is addressed with the board. Ashley, did you receive any cards? All right, great. The Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will adjourn to closed session at 5:31 p.m. for the purpose of consideration of matters for which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code .071-084, whereupon the superintendent, at the request of the president of the Board of Trustees, will present for the board's consideration or discussion the following matters. Consider teacher, administrator employment, or other appropriate personnel matters. Deliberate a negotiated contract for prospective gift or donation. Deliberate the use of security personnel devices and/or audits. Intruder detection audit. Deliberate a matter regarding a student or student discipline. Deliberation regarding real property or consultation with an attorney. The Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will reconvene into open session at 6:30. If that's the time we come out. Otherwise, whatever time the board comes out of closed session.
Hopefully 6:30.
I've gone rogue, I'm sorry. Darned.
Great.
Or whatever time.
The Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will reconvene in open session at 6:31 p.m. We have one item to take care of from the closed session. I recommend that the Board of Trustees grant the board president the authority to approve new hires between now and the next regular meeting in February. The board will consider ratifying those new hires at the next meeting. I need a motion. Mike, second. Dallas, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay, it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance, if you'll join us.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, I recommend that the Board of Trustees adopt the order of items for the January 13th, 2025 agenda as presented. I need a motion. Pat, second. Sean, all in favor? Motion passes. Now it's time for special recognition with Dr. Hill.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we have two items on our agenda, and I'm going to begin by welcoming Mr. Jack Matson to the podium.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me to be here. I am proud to be part of the BISD involvement with the Toys for Tots program. And if I might, let me just share a little bit about what that means. You know, we have several families and several people in our society who have lost their jobs and really unable to take care of those little things like buying Christmas presents for their children. And so back in 1947, we had a young Marine lieutenant colonel who said, we need to do something about that. And so since 1947, we have been gathering together toys under the heading of Toys for Tots. And we've been supported by folks like Walt Disney, and he's given us the characters we use for our little Toys for Tots motto or emblems. And we're really excited because this has been the third year that we've been able to do that in the city of Burleson through the help of the ISD. That gentleman right there, Dr. Jimerson, has allowed me to be able to work with Michaela and also with Ashley Logan.
I try to forget.
And it has just been a joy to be able to work with some other folks too who literally put things together this year. You know, we did this event at the stadium, and we were able to do the lighting, and we were able to do the stage. The city put that together for us, and we had a booth for Santa Claus, and we had all the performing arts students on stage going through their performances, which are absolutely spectacular. And of course, we had some people helping us do that. And Valerie Kenkel was involved in that. All the lighting was done by Ted Tom Thiessen. And we really could not have done that had it not been for Tom and Valerie to make that come together. I was really excited. You know, I wanted my grandson to be on stage. You know, looking back at trying to get him involved, but his mom took him out of the area for whatever it was, and we missed that opportunity. But I got plenty of pictures, a lot of it videoed, so I'm going to give that to you, and you can use that in your presentation about BISD. Just incredible type stuff. So, if I may, I'd like to give this certificate of appreciation to Ted and Valerie and Ashley, and it reads like this: Certificate of Appreciation. The Marines of the Longhorn Detachment and extend our sincere appreciation for your support of the Toys for Tots campaign conducted on December 5th, 2024. Your efforts contributed to the collection of over 3,000 toys, which will be used to help over 2,000 children who would otherwise go without Christmas toys. Your support of the Longhorn Detachment is worthy of our praise and our appreciation. Signed, Jack Mattson, past Commandant. So, a round of applause for those three folks. Come up here. We have a camera. Somebody taking pictures? Let me.
I thought we were splitting the district.
Well, let's get a picture.
All right, okay.
I thought you were what?
I thought we were splitting the district. That's a Keller joke.
It's like, what? I was like, well, I don't get it.
Hey, you want to frame it? That's all you.
Thank you. I'll get on that side. Thanks, Jason.
Oh, you better.
All right, everybody look here. 1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute, is my mustache straight?
Always, Jack. You know it is. It's always on
I know you
time.
put pressure on that.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Wax, excuse me, wax, or whatever.
Okay, and next for the agenda, we want to celebrate you all and the contributions that you make as our Board of Trustees and say thank you for the dedication that you make. I'm going to start by inviting Kelly Utterback up to the podium.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson, Board. I first want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Mattson. His grandson, Levi, goes to my school. And one of the things I love about him is he has a heart that wants to serve other people. What a great example that is to not only the kids at my school, but also all the schools here in Burleson. And one of the things I love about this picture right here is this represents everything that Mr. Mattson just talked about, and that's serving other people and finding joy in serving other people. We believe in student empowerment at the Academy at Nola Dunn. It's a big part of our brain-based philosophy. And this right here are 2 5th graders that are serving on the safety patrol in the morning. And I will tell you, when you put kids in a position where they have to rise to the occasion and serve others, that's when you're going to see the best in them. So what a perfect representation of what we believe in at the Academy, but also just finding joy in serving others. Every single morning when I talk to my staff and my students on the announcements, and it's my Good Morning Vietnam type voice, because I've been working on my radio voice for a long time, but I always ended at the end by saying...
You really just dated yourself.
I did. It was actually a little bit before my time, but I love Robin Williams. But
Let's say we...
I'm older than you think. If you get closer to me, you'll see the grades on my face. But I always end my morning announcements by saying kindness is free, but it's worth so much. And that is exactly what's represented right here. And there are just so many great things happening, not only at the Academy, but also in BISD. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to serve. Thank you.
Dr. Jay. Board of Trustees, Dr. Jimerson. We just want to thank you. This photograph here represents all the things that you allow us to create and the impact that you allow us to do to impact the community. This is a health science program picture. 11 years ago when I came here, we didn't have health science at BHS. We only had it at CHS. We now have 225 students in health science at BHS. Next year, I think we're going to have at least 50 students that will be in the practicum level. So they'll be all over the community. But all the programs we have, and you know which programs we have, and they impact the community. But if we didn't have you guys making those decisions, then we could not create those programs for those kids and being involved. So thank you for what you do.
Good evening. I just wanted to start by saying thank you so much for all your continued support for us at Mound Elementary. And when I look at this picture, I just see pure joy. And it helps me remember that it starts from day one when they come to us in pre-K. And so in this picture, as one of our pre-K students, they are setting their goals. And so every day, our students pre-K through 5th grade are setting goals and working with their teachers and the other staff at Mound to find a way to strive every day to meet their goals that they continue to make. And so thank you so much.
Good evening. These are some happy Fraser bears right here, and they're engrossed in learning. One thing that we've been able to do this year is carry over our work of really good core instruction, but we've also been given the opportunity to bring in Solution Tree, and that's a company who's partnered with us to give our teachers lots of additional PD so that when the learning doesn't look this easy, and the kids might not have gotten all those concepts, we have a lot of ways to teach them what it is they need at the kid level. So thank you so much for your support in doing that. I appreciate you all.
Dr. Jimerson, school board. This obviously is a wonderful 8th grade student who is enjoying his science lesson. But I always love these pictures because they don't actually show you what's happening that got us here. You don't see the teacher that worked hard with the coordinator to make sure I had all my supplies out and I had my stations and everything ready to go. You also don't see that this boy has an athletic coach who is making sure that he is supporting him and he is encouraging him, not only on the field, not only on the court, but in the classroom. But you also don't see y'all. You don't see all of your work that you're doing. So I just want to extend my gratitude. And every time I say I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry this time, because I am a community member and I know how much you all serve and how much you do for us. And it is well received and we are very, very grateful for each of you.
All right, good evening. On behalf of everyone at Norwood and myself, I just want to say thank you guys for your unwavering support, especially as we transitioned into an environmental science academy. These 2 students are some of our special 2nd graders. They began on our campus as pre-K students when we began the process of becoming an environmental science academy, so they kind of don't know anything other than gardening and taking part in all of that. So they are truly an example of the program and our amazing environmental science teacher. But these two students will also, hopefully, we are partnering with the City of Burleson Parks Department and hopefully beginning a junior master gardener program. So these two are going to be first in line. I can assure you, we grew some cauliflower this past winter, and we went and harvested it right before the winter storm came in. And these two this morning got to try and do some taste testing of our cauliflower and our things that we grew. I'm sorry?
How did that go?
I will tell you, they're not big fans. Culinary. They had a lot of feedback for us. They want to grow. They want to go back to the tomatoes from the summer. They were okay with that, but the cauliflower was a little much. But truly, thank you guys for supporting our campus. And also, I was in the break room this morning, and I was talking to some of the teachers, and they just wanted to also say thank you and for supporting with the bonuses. It really helped them.
December salary adjustments.
But they were like remiss if I didn't tell you personally thank you on their behalf. So thank you.
Hello everyone, Dr. Jimerson, members of the board. At Taylor, we are grateful for the support of our school board as we build on last year's success, where we gained 6 points in STAR accountability. This year, we're continuing the momentum with a focus on our campus goal of raising the bar, which means for boosting engagement, anchoring in instruction, and reaching goals. So everything that we do this year is rooted on that specific goal. The photo captured here captures everything in action, showcasing the joy and the engagement of our students. As you can see, they're the class of 2032, and they're just excited for what's to come. So all that is because of y'all, so we really appreciate y'all's support.
Thank you, board, and Dr. Jimerson for allowing us to come here today. To the picture that you're looking at here, our campus is a very unique campus that serves a unique clientele of kids that are at risk, they're in danger of dropping out. And when they come to us, we continually have students transferring in. They're on an accelerated pace where it creates a very individualized learning structure for each student. And what we find is the kids have to rely on their own self-motivation and initiative, which serves them well, and their characteristics that will serve them well once they graduate from school and move on. What we found is they lack in one other area, and it is still working with team and communication. Because the reality is the kids can talk all day on this thing, but they can't talk face to face. And what we've done is incorporated in some of our classes simple communication activities where they can't be successful unless they work in groups and communicate effectively, which we think will serve them well in their future as well. So we started incorporating some of these within the curriculum. You will see some motivation. Young man on the right, not so motivated. Amy on the left, very motivated. But in the end, they were successful.
We're going to bring him along with us.
Very much so. And by the way, he was the leader. He will tell you to this day he was the leader. But in the end, they were successful because it works on a type of communication that they think they're good at, but they're not really, and it'll serve them well in the future. To that end, I want to say thank you for all the unwavering and focused support you give to all of our kids. It allows us to serve that unique clientele and makes our campus successful along with the district. And thank you all very much for that.
So you got a graduation, is it next week?
Next week, 52 kids.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of STEAM Academy at Stribling Elementary, I want to say thank you so much to each of you for all the support and energy and resources that you give so that we're able to provide these kinds of experiences for our students. So I love that this is the picture you get to see tonight because I think it represents so much of what we're about at Stribling, and I happen to love these two students a lot too. So this is Avery and Maurice, and on this particular day they were watching the 3D printer. One of their classmates had designed his very own original video game character, and he had created him in a 3D program, and they were watching their friend print. So just love that we're able to provide these kinds of creative learning opportunities for our students, and it's because of your support. So thank you so much for helping us let the Stribling stars shine.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and Board of Trustees. First of all, I just want to come and say thank you for everything that y'all do for us, allowing us to work with these kids that we have to make a difference. And that's one of the things that we preach as we go each day. You can learn, you can go through life, but how are you going to make a difference? So one of the things that I want to highlight right now is that our Make a Difference Club worked together and crocheted 54 lap blankets and took them to the Veterans Hospital. And that was a great thing for them. They came back touched. So now our goal is to come up and have 100 by the end of the year. So they are working feverishly, doing their crochet, and you might even see them at lunch working on these things. But it's very prideful for me. I take a great sense of pride in working with them and watching them come back and say, Mr. Walker, we delivered those blankets and everybody was happy. So, and we're still striving to do that. So again, thank you for allowing us to work with them and hopefully make a difference. Thank you.
So a very wise man once said, if it ain't fun, I ain't doing it. And I think this picture kind of illustrates that. At Bransom, if you know anything about our campus, we thrive on fun. We play a lot. This is students collaborating in class on an activity and lesson, but when you look at all of the arts and the performances, music, and just all of the galleries, everything that we do at our campus, we try to think outside the box and make learning as much fun as we possibly can in the classroom, outside the classroom. And I just want to say how much I appreciate the board and Dr. Jimerson for allowing us to be outside of the box a lot of the time. If you've ever cruised around our campus and seen the hallways, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about with our poster work and our sumo wrestling and things like that between the adults. And so it's fun. I see you shaking your head, Dr. Jimerson. It's okay, I understand. But it's nice that we have students. We're able to make a fun learning environment for the students, but also fun for our staff, to make it where it's coming to work it's always interesting. And so we appreciate you allowing us to be outside of the box and to be creative like an arts campus. So thank you very much.
Good evening, members of the board and Dr. Jimerson. I'm thankful for each and every one of y'all. I'm also thankful for the opportunity to talk a little bit about the great things going on at Hike. In this photo, you see some students participating in our gardening club. The planter boxes were actually donated through a community partnership that our school counselor helped organize. And that's one of the great things that we have going at Hike, our community involvement, our community opportunities, our parent engagement, and creating engaging opportunities for our students to grow into the great people that they are. And we can't do those things without the support that we receive from you, from the community, and from our parents. We're super appreciative of that. So thank you very much for all that you do. We love and appreciate you. Thanks.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and Board of Trustees. Thank you for all that you do. I have been on my campus since it opened in 2008. So I've been there quite a while, seeing all the families that have coming on, our siblings, and even some kids that I will say started at Brock and now have kids of their own. So it has been, I don't know, it kind of ages me a little bit, but anyway, I love to see them. But one thing I love about this picture is one thing we've done this year now that we've been in our curriculum for several years, our goal is engagement with that curriculum, because the first year or two, teachers were just trying to figure out what is this curriculum about. So this year we started a little competition of what can we do to be sure the kids know that the curriculum is relevant and they're engaged in it every single day. One of these little girls, she wasn't quite sure, they're kindergartners, she wasn't quite sure she was that fond of school, but she definitely has come around, and part of that is because the ability of teachers to make it engaging for students, and she wants to be sure she doesn't miss out in Miss Lowry's class because it is so fun and engaging there, and you will see that across our campus this year. So we appreciate all that you do for us and appreciate you allowing us to make things engaging for our kids. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and the board. I just want to say thank you for everything that you do for our campus. I love that this picture was chosen. He's a little first grader in Miss Greenhouse's homeroom, but I asked him today, I said, what do you just love about Burleson and Clinkscale? And of course he goes, well, number one, I love going to the gym. And I said, well, of course, every kid loves to go to PE. And he said, and number two, I love that you keep us safe. And he talked about Officer Jack. And that just gives me peace knowing that you put the support into that as well. And he, you know, he loves him. And then number three, he said it's just about having fun. And this boy has the most contagious smile as soon as he leaves the car in the morning and he goes home at the end of the day. I just love that kids are having fun, and that's what Clinkscale is about. So thank you.
Hi, Dina Shimming, Centennial High School, in case you didn't know. Dr. Shimsham, we'll just embrace it, shall we? First of all, I just want to say thank y'all for allowing me to have this job and for allowing me to sleep every night knowing that y'all have our backs. And that is not something that all administrators can say in districts, but we can say it in ours. And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm grateful for your support. So this is Camilo. Camilo came to us from Puerto Rico last year with very limited to no English ability. But what he did come with is some experience in engineering. And so that was familiar for him when he came here from Puerto Rico. And what I love about our, not just CHS, but our district as a whole, is that we embrace technology, specifically engineering. And what he's doing right here is he is creating a board of some sort.
I was expecting to really hear something, and this is a subboard.
Wait a minute, I prepared. It is, Brad, what is this? It's a test board. It is a test board to learn programming so that he can build a robot, which he did build a robot, but that's what he's doing here. Now, as I said, he didn't know a lot of English, but this was familiar to him. This was comfortable for him, and he was able to shine even though nobody understood. He didn't understand what anybody else was saying, but now he's there and he's growing, and that was something familiar for him. So I love that. I love that we're embracing that he is a student of ours that's come from Puerto Rico, and thank y'all so much for all you do for us in our school district.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson, Board of Trustees. Thank you so much. And on behalf of STEAM, we're incredibly grateful for all the opportunities that you provide, not for students just during the day, but also after school. This is one of our after school programs, the Lego League, and our students love this. They also have to build robots here. I thought it was just playing with Legos. It's not. And so they do quite a few things here, but the thing that I love about this is a 6th grade student and an 8th grade student. Both of these students have already been recognized as Student of the Month, and they are working together. They are collaborating. One of the wonderful things about being at STEAM is that our students from all grade levels get opportunities to work together, and they coach each other. And I just want to thank you for all of the wonderful opportunities that you give for those students to provide that mentorship.
Dr. Jimerson, members of the board, thank y'all for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to be at GDDS, and you know, I don't know if there's another campus here in which like our students get to walk through the hall and they get to meet a queen, Miss Pat. And so it just shows the unwavering support that you all have for us. This is Palin Estrada. She's, despite what NBC5 says, she's actually one of many girls that attend GDDS. She is our TSA vice president, and this picture,
Girls run that.
they do really, in all aspects.
There than I can guys.
So much so is that she actually went on our recruiting path this year and went and talked to some middle schools, and has resulted in our high school applications increasing by about 25%, just talking about her experience at GDDS. So thank you again for everything that you do for us and give us the opportunity to educate just such phenomenal kids. Thank you.
By the way, your dad's name is Eric Estrada. And all those that are younger than the age of 50, ask somebody later.
President McNair, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jimerson, thank you from Burleson Collegiate High School, all the students, staff, faculty, myself. We thank you for the work that you do every day behind the scenes, the time you take to put this effort and the time to just love on us. And we feel it at our campuses. Thank you for allowing me to be at Burleson Collegiate High School, where you see Nathan and Shumaya. So this year we partnered with Shine Together, a nonprofit who really, we met them through David, our counseling director, and Randy Woolsey. Matter of fact, Randy Woolsey's aunt and uncle. But their passion, Shine Together's passion, is to feed students outside of school. For the 48 hours that they're not in school, some students don't have a meal. And so we have a school store where our students on Fridays, they get to shop and take groceries home. We're talking about fresh produce, meats, and ramen, something that's easy to make. And so
That's a game changer right there, man.
it is, especially if you add hot sauce. Anyways, if you so our students, those actually our students right there are stocking, and Nathan is the assistant to the manager, and so in his job throughout the week, when they deliver on Fridays, the students, it's a group of them, they'll come and they'll stock, so that students on Friday when they're leaving, they can take groceries home fresh for their families. And so this has been made possible because of you. So thank you for not just educating our students, but also helping to make sure they're fed at home on the weekends for those that don't have meals like everyone else does. Thank you so much for your service.
Well, thank you all for coming and for expressing gratitude to our board during Board Appreciation Month. And as always, we are fortunate to have this Board of Trustees. They're in it for the right reasons. And it's nice to know that we've got 7 folks sitting up here that are up here to serve and to serve the best interest of all students in our community. And I, for one, am appreciative of that. Thank you for that. And when I say it as a voice of experience, I've been around a whole lot of boards over the course of time. It'll be 12 years in May that I've been here, and I can truly say getting to serve with this board and serve at the pleasure of this board has certainly made my tenure a lot of fun, and I thank you for doing that.
Well, I would just like to say to our wonderful principals, thank you so much for bringing your schools and your classrooms to us tonight. I can't think of more joy to be had than seeing what you do at your campuses and seeing your students. And I just want you to know all of us are so proud of what all of you do in leading your campuses. So thank you. It makes our job very easy. Okay, any other board members have something you'd like to say?
I will say, as much as I enjoy the artwork in the wall that gives me like a quadruple chin, this...
Okay, that's going back a little ways too.
Yeah. This is so much more powerful and meaningful to us. We got to go through more training than we intended to go through last Monday night. Some of us, not all of us, but one of the questions asked was, why do you do what you do as a board member? And the answer was unanimous across everyone who asked. And the answer was, we love enabling this without fail. There are so many things that come our way that we don't even hesitate to say yes to. And we don't have a freaking clue half the time. We really don't how we're going to pull it off. But we always find a way to figure it out. So just enabling these things, just know that when Dr. J says it is the truth. Our money is where our mouth is a lot of times. So to see it in action, because I don't get to spend a lot of time on campuses at all. So you bring that to life when you bring it here. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the artwork. I prefer this too. I'm wondering how old I have to be before I don't have to look at those out there. Ready for the pictures of the children. No, really, y'all are you're just so awesome, every one of you. And what is so exciting to me about our district is every campus is different, but you're all the same because the kid, you can tell when you walk in the door. That was a real aha for me when years ago when I started traveling between campuses. I just expected everybody to be the way they were where I had been, and it wasn't like that, and it wasn't always so good, but now it is. And so, just thank you for loving on our kids and making me feel welcome. There's not many places that you get to go when I was at the GD&D campus, and one kid thought I was the queen and another one thought I was the principal's mother. So, I'm okay. I can live with either one of those. But anyway, thank you for what you do.
Okay, next up is consider a guaranteed maximum price for a Mound Elementary School project with Mr. Tyler Boswell.
Good evening. Dr. Jimerson, President McNair, members of the board, thank you for having me tonight. And also, I just want to take my turn to say thank you so much for allowing me to work in this great district. I always say people come and they stay, and it's just such a blessing to be in such a great district. Everybody's so positive. We have a great team in the M&O staff, about 170 people. Those adjustments were just huge for them. And we just love what we do. We love serving, but we couldn't do it without you and your support. And our pledge is to always have things ready for you when you come, and I know you're at all the events and all that. It takes all your time. So thank you for everything that you do for us. We really do appreciate it. So thanks for having me tonight. We're here to talk about the GMP for the Mound Gym project. With me, we have Casey Myro with Pfluger Architects to talk about some subtle adjustments that we did to the renderings. And we also have Brian Parma with Jackson Construction to talk about the GMP numbers. And with that, I'll turn it over to Casey. Brian will follow, and then I'll follow up at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. Who's driving? Thank you, sir. Good to see y'all. We are so close to getting the gym at Mound. Yes. Patiently waiting. Yes, sir. What you're seeing on the screen is kind of the current design as the GMP is reflected. Some subtle changes that you're seeing now. Reduction of glass. This is a storm shelter now for the entire occupancy of the school. And that was the biggest change. However, we do feel we kept all the architectural expression that we set out to achieve in the first place. The expression of the kind of eyebrow wrapping brick on the gym starts to reflect some of the architecture of the existing school. So that's still there. The brick will match the darker brick that's on the elementary school currently. We're still maintaining our connective piece, so that'll keep a secure access from elementary school proper to the new gym, so our storm shelter. That'll all be indoors. And also trying to maintain some of the warm tones through that metal panel that reflects some wood tones there in the front. And obviously branding this as it should be with the Mound sign on this end. And then can you go, oh, that's fine too. Another view here, kind of the main entry to the gym. And then on the back side, what you'll see from Wilshire, go ahead, sorry. There we go. So Mound signage back here, very similar architectural expression on the back side, but this will be backlit. The idea is to have several color schemes of the lighting and things like that. So very
the
proud.
hope is you drive down Wilshire and they look and they go, hey, there's Mound, right?
Yes, sir. All right, any questions on the design?
What's the seating capacity?
For just depends on
Okay, Kevin, this
seating arrangement.
This is an open meeting to the public to sit in. It's not an open meeting to participate.
It's 9,600 square feet.
Yeah, it varies.
Yes, Brian. Yes. Sorry. So, thank you for allowing me to come here and talk to you guys tonight about the guaranteed maximum price. If you want to go through, there's for some of you that have been on the board for a while, we've presented this sheet to you a couple of times on different projects throughout the years. This is just a one-page summary of the proposals that we received right before the holidays for this project. It was on December 19th. We received proposals. We received about 60 to 65 proposals for the different trades. And you're seeing kind of a one-page summary of the evaluation and what we're recommending for a guaranteed maximum price. On the sheet here, we separated out by construction CSI divisions 1 through 33, and then some allowances include owner's contingency and some other allowances for graphics and some other things we're holding on to until we get final design throughout the project. You'll see some of the contractor markups, general conditions, bonds and insurance and fee, and then the total. So what we are bringing to you tonight for a GMP recommendation is the $7,356,604. This is a unique project that we had a previous guaranteed maximum price. So I wanted to show the board of what we would spend in totality for this project. The 431 that was spent in 2022 will still be used for this project. It was primarily the use of the electrical switchgear, the new electrical service going into the building. We have that in your warehouse now, so that is one of the longest lead items when we do construction. So having that now is a huge help. That was already purchased, so we're going to be utilizing that in this. So it's money well spent that's going to be used for the project still, as well as the main entrance canopy at the front. Those materials were already procured and paid for before we stopped work on that last package. So all of that will still be utilized for this project. It's just already been procured and paid for. So for construction cost, the total would be $7,788,369. And then there are certain items that Burleson ISD will handle themselves through internal means, the data cabling, audio, video, intercom security, and those budgets that I'm holding out for that for your work would bring to a complete total of $7,933,369. So that's a lot of numbers, but what I'm asking for today for a recommendation is to approve the $7,356,604. Thank you.
Tyler, you got anything to add?
No, we'd just like to thank Pfluger and Jackson for our partners working with us to get this project buttoned up and presented to you tonight. And we look forward to your consideration and seeing if we can get started on it.
Okay, I need a motion that the Board of Trustees approve the guaranteed maximum price for the Mound Elementary project as presented.
So moved.
Pat, see a second. Ryan, all right, all in favor? See none opposed, motion passes.
I would like to extend an additional thank you to the Board Facilities Committee who came in and went over these numbers in detail. This has been an ongoing, this project has been ongoing for at least 2 years, if not longer. Just had some things that had to be worked through. It is what it is, but we did get them worked through. We stayed the course. This board, if I hear one more time, where are we on the Mound project? I tell you, they have been as anxious as anybody to get this thing off the ground. Mound Elementary is the one elementary that doesn't have what I would call a real gym. It's an all-weather facility. There's no regular basketball court. They got a couple of goals up, but there's no real court. And there's no AC, I don't believe, if I'm not mistaken. They do have some of those old, in the corner hanging heaters.
260 on the AC.
260.
You may know what that is. Yeah.
Put them up and
windows down.
Roll up doors.
Yeah.
And so that it's been time, and this board has been committed to making this happen, even though it did take a little longer, with some new codes that were implemented, public codes that were implemented that we then had to meet for a significant amount of money. But anyway, stuck with it. And to those at Mound, we appreciate you. This board appreciates you. more than you may never know, because like I said, I've heard more about this mound gym than I could ever want to remember, but it's well due. We hope that we'll start seeing movement the first week of February, right, Brian? Is that right? And start seeing movement and actually start seeing this thing come to life. So to the mound folks, congratulations. You've waited, you've been patient. We appreciate that. You can report back to all your folks that it's been approved. Hopefully first week of February, not hopefully, we will start seeing movement out there, and we're rocking and rolling. So Mound, thank you for being so patient. We're very pleased and can't wait to see what it looks like out there for those kids.
On behalf of all the staff and all the students at Mound, I can't tell y'all thank you enough for taking care of this project for us. It is something we desperately needed. So, and my BE teacher her hearing will hopefully thank y'all the most. She won't go completely deaf from.
Well, between she and her husband, who I know, I've heard on more than one occasion, I've been asked for updates on that mound gym over the course. Like I said, I was like, where are we on the mound gym? Why aren't we doing anything yet? Well, I'm working on it, Donnie. I'm working on it. So anyway, it's all in good nature, kind of. But finally, we're going to bring Mound up to speed and actually have a great facility for them to go to PE and do some things. So.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all very much. Okay, the next item this evening is the Safety, Security, and Intruder Detection Audit Update with Mr. Steve Logan.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I do have one safety update to share with you all, but before I do that, I want to thank you all for all that you do for this community and for all your support. So thank you guys. We have had one campus audited by TEA with their random intruder detection audit. That was Centennial High School, and they passed with no findings. So now that's 9 of 18 campuses that have all passed with no findings. So just once again, I want to thank all of our campus administrators and staff and our students for continuing to put safety first and follow our safety protocols. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys for all that you do.
Well done, principals. Well done, Dina. It's like I always say, the more doors there are, the more opportunities for error. So well done. Well done. That is a compliment to you all.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve. Board members should have received the consent agenda in their packets, and I need a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as presented. Did I hear a motion? Sean, second. Dallas, all in favor? I see none opposed. Motion passes. Next, we're going to open the public hearing for the executive summary of the 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Report, or the TAPER, at 7:16 p.m.
Hi, Dr. Jimerson and Board of Trustees. What a fun night to be here, right? To hear so many great stories of all the great things. Thanks for all y'all do. I'm here tonight because every year TEA requires us to hold a public hearing to discuss the district's annual report within 90 calendar days of receiving it. So just to start with, as is required by this public hearing, printed copies of the complete VISD annual report will be available at Central Administration and at the campus front offices, as well as electronically on the district website once we have completed this hearing this evening. There are, this report that has been shared with you, and y'all have that in your board report, contains all the required information on the following topics. It is our basic Texas Academic Performance Report, nothing new, the things you already know about that y'all have seen, our PEAMS Financial Standard Report, as well as our district accreditation status, our campus performance objectives, report on any violent or incidents on campus, student performance in post-secondary institutions, and House Bill 3 early education and college, career, and military readiness. Most of this information has already been shared with y'all throughout this year. It's really nothing new, but I am here today to share what I can. So the highlights are, as you remember, the state put in place a new test, a new accountability system at the same time. We didn't know if that was legal, and it turns out that for the second year in a row, the A judge has enjoined TEA from issuing any ratings at this time. So I'm required to share our ratings. We have none, neither does anyone else in the state of Texas right now. So nothing to share there, but you all seen the report on how our students have done on the STAR test. In addition to that, we are accredited this year, so yay for us. Our campus improvement plans are already posted on the website, and y'all have already seen those that we approved earlier in October. Another thing that hasn't come out yet, our Texas Higher Education Board is still gathering information on student performance in post-secondary. Any day now that could be released, but we don't have that for y'all. Could have brought you last year's, but figured y'all didn't need just a review of that. So essentially we know how our kids are doing, and we have a great system here that keeps up with those types of things for us. On a positive note, and you'll see this in your board report filing, our grade K through 3 math and reading has all students exceeding their targets for our House Bill 3. And so we had to raise those targets because we did so well that we were following up on that. And we're really excited about that early education and seeing those kids continue all the way through. As you all know, Brenda reviews our financials with you each month, but I've included those in your packet of information. And again, we do this every year. It's really nothing new, but if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them for the public hearing.
Well, I was going to say, all the data you've seen at different points throughout the year and years, and this taper is yet again another formality of in the aggregate, I guess, the cumulative report of the taper. But you've seen this in some way, shape, or form. So,
Okay. Do we have any questions from members of the audience or comments? Okay, we will close the public hearing for the executive summary of the 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Report.
Thank you.
At 7:20 p.m. And now it's time, thank you, April. Now it's time for April Financial. Now it's time for
April born in May.
Monthly financials.
In November financials, yes.
Thank you, April.
And if we start at 6:30, we start at 6:30. And if we don't, we don't.
Well, I won't be long. Dr. Jimerson, board members.
We have lights.
Happy board month, yeah.
Where's the music and dancing?
I know.
I just kidding.
Please know, though, that the business office and food service, we love you guys too, and we're very grateful for all that you do. Yeah. We're grateful for that you get us through. I think it's like, oh.
Hey, that's millennial. That's old.
Oh, I have a joke for you, but it's a bad one. I'll tell you later. Yeah.
Did you just throw gang signs?
No. I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
And by the way, may I just interject? That's why I also like this board, because they like to have fun too, and they have a great sense of humor.
They do.
And that's what makes being a part of this group so much fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can make jokes, we can laugh at each other. We're serious when we need to be serious. We can have fun because we are in the kid business.
Yeah.
We can have fun. We can enjoy what we do while taking care of business. So please continue.
Yeah. And you guys picked great, awesome principals. That presentation that you guys got together was really cool. So I'm super glad to be a part of it. So thank you all very much. Okay, monthly financials. This is for November. This is the month I choose, Ryan, if that's okay with you.
Jerry was expecting April.
Can't do it. It's gonna take me. Revenues are at 37.9 million, and then our expenditures are at 40.4 million. So revenues are a little bit higher than last year because we received more state revenue, and then our expenditures are actually a little bit less than they were last year, which is great, but we'll catch up because it's mostly on timing of payments. For food service, revenues at 2.9 million. We do see an increase in local purchases and our federal programs, and then our expenditures are at 2.3 million, which are slightly less than last year also. For debt service, you will see here we're at 6.2 million compared to last year. We're just at 2.4. We received our state funding in November this year. Last year, I believe it was in December. So you'll see that kind of catch up. But the state did send us our funds for our existing debt allotment, and we received those. And then our expenditures are at 15.5 million. For special revenue funds, we're at 36.4%. Year to date, we're at 3.4 million. And these are just going to continue on through September of 25. For childcare, revenues at 296,000, about 30%, which is what we expected, and then expenditures at 308. For capital projects, which is our oil and gas, beginning balance 14.6 million. We're up about 10,000 from last year at this time at 434,000. So our balance is 15,040,000. Which we discussed at some of our facility meetings, but that's where our balance is as of today, or as of November, excuse me. Payments over 10,000, the list is in your packet if you have any questions. This is just a breakdown between the funds, mostly out of our general fund, food service, and then our claims that are out of our workers' comp. And tax report. So you'll see our November collections are at 4.6 million, 5.8 million for the year. So November is when the process starts and we start collecting our taxes, and that'll stay heavy through February. We'll collect taxes every month, but through February is when the bulk of it comes in. And that is it for me.
Okay. Thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to consider a resolution to pay staff during the district closure by Mr. Tommy Dowler.
Good evening. As you know, we were forced to close down due to last week's apocalyptic storm of the century for Thursday and Friday. And this is an...
Was that a pot shot?
Just a mere description of the events. But it seems to be this is the annual January thing we do now, where we have to ask you all to authorize pay since staff was sent home through no fault of their own. It's been budgeted and it's good for morale. And so we ask you to do that just like we have every January now for 3-4 years running, I think. So thank you.
Okay, in that case, I need a motion of the Board of Trustees to approve the resolution to pay staff during the district closure and authorize the superintendent to pay all employees according to the terms declared in this resolution. Do I hear a motion? Dallas, I hear a second. Second. Ryan, second. All in favor? I see none opposed. Motion passes. And with that, I'd like to report that my gavel has been sabotaged.
Do that.
Silencer on the gavel.
What did you show? A silencer? Is that what you said?
Anyone with information regarding this crime would please let me know. And with that,
Oh, come on, hit it right. Hit it.
the meeting's adjourned.
Hit it right.
I'm handicapped.
That's awesome. I just had to look at myself like,
Oh no!
okay, that's
Well,
funny.
I came in and I went,